Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It is the 24th of June, late. It's almost the 25th. And 2022, these are the Charles Berry Stalker podcasts again. And so we assert all the fucking disclaimer. All constitutional rights apply here, Mr. Perry. I know you think that civil rights only apply to you and not everybody else, but I'm sorry, you're wrong about that. We're asserting them here. They actually belong to women too. So we assert all constitutional rights to the blah blah blah. I can't remember it. Use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law just yet. Apply the but for Mr. Perry trying to get my car all the fucking time and take all my money and force me back to Texas where he thinks he can do more to me and get away with it. And the stalking and the harassment, the stalking and the harassment, the stalking and harassment. We wouldn't do these to document that. It is crime. Peeping is a crime. Stalking is a crime. Hacking is a crime. Coercion is a crime, sir. Look at that. Coercion is a crime. Harassment's a crime. Everything you do is a crime. I don't think you go 5 minutes in any given day that you're not doing crime, right? So you guys got caught all fucking day again today. It's like you just get, you're the gift that keeps on giving. You're like a gold mine of crime for law enforcement. You're a big catch. And you guys just go at it and you go at it and you go at it. And, she caught us. We're going to do it anyway. She caught us. She knows, but we're going to do it anyway. And then now you got the people like, I'm going to say hypothetically, the governor going, how am I supposed to lie for him? I can't even lie for him anymore. They keep giving her this stuff. I wish they really wouldn't give her so much. They've given her golly. So you got, everybody knows you want to take my car away. You wanted to take my home away, and you did. You make all these threats, and you go around telling everybody what a tough guy you are, how you can beat down women and children and get away with it, and kill cops and get away with it, and kill Justice Scalia maybe and get away with it. The thing is that the difference between where we're coming down on Justice Scalia's death is there was suspicious circumstances questioned by a murder cop commander of DC homicide, retired William O. Ritchie, about why protocol wasn't followed post-mortem. There's a post-mortem protocol that you follow when you find a body. You got an examination you got to do. So he's like, well, why didn't it get done in Texas? West Texas, not just Texas. West Texas, close to Lubbock, where we were all at the time. So there's two things suspicious about it, or three things. One is, there are actually four things. One is there was no post-mortem examination. Two, it happened in West Texas. Three, it happened right when we were all in West Texas and Mr. Perry was planning a fraud upon a court, stating that I'm going to harass her in Oklahoma, and when she talks about it, I'm going to say she's harassing me. And you did it twice in civil court, so you can't say there was no plan. You've tried twice in criminal court. Judge Parker, I believe, and Judge Kirkendall, is that correct? Judge Kirkendall was smart enough to say, I need you to leave her alone for a few weeks so that I can rule out provocation and entrapment. Since you planned all this and she's got an email about it, there's probably recordings somewhere. There are, and then also it was all over the fucking jail. Everybody told me. Because you guys, Matt told a defense attorney, and the defense attorney told his client, and the client told everybody in there. And then they went home and told everybody at home. So I know you think you're fooling people. I think you're just stupid. I really do. So, they want my car. They tried again tonight. They want all my money. They want to force me back to Texas. They want to coerce. They want to force me to lie. We're going to cause intentional duress one way or the other and try to make you lie. And everybody's going, and what's she supposed to lie about now? You continue to do exactly what she says. So all you're doing is giving me a whole lot of, well, I did say, I think I said that that's what they were trying to do. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told everybody that's what he was trying to do. And the thing is, Mr. Perry makes very specific threats. These are not, oh, he's trying to hurt me. Oh, he's just doing something to me. It's very specific threats. He's trying to take my car. He's trying to arrange a false arrest. He's trying to perpetrate a fraud upon the court specifically by a false claim that he's being harassed. I did move twice, sir, to get away from you. No one's in your car. No one's trying to take your car away from you. When I've sued you, the burden of proof is on me. I got to prove it. You won't even let me into court. So now everybody knows I'm telling the truth. There's no harm in letting me into court to show evidence I don't have. Right? Here's the thing. There's a whole bunch of studies, criminologists research. Why in the fuck would anyone do that? Right? What kind of nutbag does that? What kind of tutti frutti loony toony does that to another person? But particularly, why would a man do it to a woman? And not just one man. There's like a bunch of y'all sit around on your fat asses trying to make me fail. I'm one woman. One woman. But I have help. And that help is men. You little fuckers. So, here's the thing. When you do it to me, life as you knew it ended. You got a new normal. Everything's changed. And y'all act like you don't know that. Even though you keep going, how'd she find out? Who told her? You got rats, you got leaks, and we got wiretap orders and shit. And I'm not told how the semantics of how they get information from you to them. I know how they get it from them to me. But I'm not told that part. Because, Perry, I'll tell you every day, is it your mom and dad? Is it your family? Is it your kids? Is it Ernest? Is it Al? Is it TPD? Is it Mike Neely? Is it Fabian? Who's telling on me? Well, first of all, let's back that up a little bit. Think about that for a second. The question in and of itself shows how deep in delusion you are that you would even ask. That you would even ask me that question for 100 different reasons. And I've already explained them all, and I'm not going to do it again. You can't fix stupid. And I'm not a special ed teacher, and I don't have fingerprints for you. I don't have patience for you. I don't have puppets and crayons for you. So I'm done trying to explain to a fucktard what that means and why I'm saying that. It's too bad, so sad if you don't get it. So he thinks I would help him. Well, why would I help him? Because once he's gone, once my guys arrest him, and he's gone, him and David and all his David's the main one after my car. David, Calvin, those guys, once they're arrested, my guys arrest him, then, here's what's going to happen. I won't have any more threats to my car. I won't ever be broke again. I'll have my privacy back. Mike gets to go home with his family. And we don't have to deal with you and your problems and your drama anymore, ever again. So why would I help you, Mr. Perry? Really? I mean, it shows your mental illness. You got so much delusion, sir. It's squirting out your ears, hitting us all in the eye, and we're like, ew, that's, yeah, yuck. It's that bad. You ooze with it. You ooze with delusion. So, but for all that, I wouldn't document it here. And this is a lot for our guys, too. See, our guys record it, too. While I'm doing this, they're recording it me as well. And they'll play it for whoever they want to play it for. My podcast. What courtroom's already hearing it? What reporters are already hearing it? What other people in the need to know are already hearing me talk right now? See, you don't know that. You think that you've contained who knows what, and you have not. I'm sorry. Sorry to disappoint you. I know that makes you upset, because you wanted to make sure nobody knows what you're doing, right? We don't want anybody to know, except you keep doing when I say it beforehand. How does she know? Has she found out? We got to get her back to Texas where we can do more to her. Right, y'all? If I talk, Hick, will that help you understand me? Because clearly we're talking over your heads. There's no question. I mean, yeah, I'm not seeing. It's so easy. It's not even fair. So, what is coercion? Coercion, and this is Oklahoma. It's prohibited. You're trying to make somebody do something or say something they wouldn't do or say normally, right? Yours is crime. You want me to be your Ghislaine Maxwell or whatever, and I don't want to. I don't want to go back to Texas. I don't want to. You coaxed Mike to Pensacola and his life blew up. You're off your nut if you think you're going to get me back to Texas. Right? You do know that. Everybody write that down. Everybody that has a whiteboard somewhere, TPD if you got one, Charles if you got one, wherever y'all got a whiteboard hanging on the wall, write it down. She's not stupid. Mike went to Pensacola. He was coaxed and his life blew up. Cynthia's not stupid. She's the one catching our crime more than anybody else we know. Life as we knew it ended when we started doing this shit to her. We got a new normal. Write it down. Because I've said it over and over and over and over and over. And you act like I'm talking above your heads. I might be. There's a lot of studies, criminology studies, that say, criminals by and large, they want to know, why do people do shit like this to other people? Why do you? You guys are a Netflix special waiting to happen. They got all these Netflix specials of, serial killer in England, serial killer in the US, serial killer in Scotland, serial killer in, wherever, Australia. And they got some psychologist, criminal psychologist going and talking to him, kind of asking him that question. Why in the fuck did you do this? And so there's a whole group of people, forensic psychologists, criminal psychologists, criminologists, victimologists. They sit there and study, why the fuck would anyone do that? And they've got a lot of research says you guys have low IQ and no impulse control. Where we all have this filter that says, like Mr. Perry's like blown my life up on a weekly basis. And I'd like to beat the ever living shit out of him. Everyone knows that. If he got anywhere near me, first of all, he's dangerous. I don't have a gun. I don't carry a gun. So I'm not going to wait to see if he's got a chloroform rag or a syringe. I'm more worried about a syringe based on the conversations that I've heard him have about murdering me with a syringe or chloroform rags or whatever. I'm more worried about that than him walking. He's got guns too, but I'm actually not worried about the gun. I'm actually worried about the other shit that's harder to catch, harder to spot. So I'm not going to wait to see what he does to me. I'll beat the fuck out of him. And we made the joke about the whole dominatrix, and then you'll have to pay me, and it's legal, and I can beat the ever living fuck out of you. I just can't figure out how to put your balls up into your brain and put you in a coma and explain that away as an accident. Otherwise, it's just at that point I'm like, well, it's just not really worth it. So otherwise it would be. But here's the thing: I have a filter in my head that says you can't actually do that. You can't. You might want to, but you can't actually do that. Right? Most of us have that. Well, criminals don't. With their low IQ, brain damage, or some shit like that, they don't have it. There's no filter that says you can't actually hit her car. She already said it. She already said she knew you guys talked about it. You were recorded talking about it. She heard the recording. And there's an email that she typed up saying, here's what they said before you did it. Well, if you're caught before, anyone with good sense at all would know if she's got somebody helping to dig, every time we piss them off, they go digging, David. I'm broke, they dig. You do something to my car, they go digging. It's like you guys like that. We think you do. Then, common sense would tell you maybe we shouldn't piss her off. Maybe we ought to leave her alone. You know what pisses people off when you take their home away from them? That's a pretty big loss. When you fuck with their car and try to take their car away from them, that's another pretty big loss. When you try to murder them, that's a big loss, is it not? When you pose a threat to their family members, that's a big loss. That's a huge loss. When a cop is dead, and I feel like it's my fault. If I hadn't called him that day, David and Charles, you guys did this. You guys did this. If I hadn't called, would you have left them alone? Now I got to worry about TPD too, because y'all call TPD and you always want them to pull me over, or Broken Arrow. Now I got to worry about them too. If they don't do it just like you want it done, are you going to do something to them too? I mean, who all are you posing a danger to? But see, once you're in jail, there's no more danger. There's no more threat. We don't have to worry about that anymore. Do you see what I'm saying? You guys are stupid. You have put yourselves in a situation where everybody wants you gone. And so we don't have a hard time getting information at all, David, Calvin. And I know y'all are frustrated. I heard you talking about it. We've never had one with this much longevity. I heard it. I heard y'all talking about it. My guys have shit everywhere. They're all over you. They're up your ass. All of you. Every day, 24/7. Because they're going to keep me safe. They're going to make sure you don't kill me. When you take 1 penny of my money, like you did today, you cost me 1 minute of my time. I had to go spend $8 again getting a fucking taillight because you took my taillight again. That's like the 4th time you've done that. Charles, you owe me that money. I don't go around taking your taillights out while you taking mine out. I can barely eat. Now I got to barely eat and go fucking fix a taillight again. So you had somebody pull it out when I was. So what they do is they've hacked my Dasher app. We've made that clear. Everybody knows they do that. So they limit my money. It's the same thing. Here's the thing, guys. When the guys helping me have known me most of my adult life. So they've seen me make money. They know what I can do. They know my normal personality. They know how I am. And when I'm broke, here's the thing that they say. They don't go, oh, you're a failure. Oh, you just failed. That's not what they say, Charles. Charlene, we're going to call you Princess Prissy Pants. You love to act like a little bitch-ass girl. I've never seen anything like it. Why don't you just trans over? Would you please? If you're sexually frustrated, just trans over. In this day and age, you can do that. But we're sick and tired of having to deal with it, sir. You need to have some dignity and class and keep whatever that shit is to yourself. And stop bothering everybody else with it, okay? You got some kind of disease. You got $25 million you paid for a cover-up you did not get, right? That'd have paid a lot of doctor visits. And then you wouldn't have to pay for a cover-up you didn't get anyway, right? So, what happens is, they start going, okay, so we brought her into this deal with to help Perry get elected, and he went completely weird on us, right? So what we're going to do, I mean, I did move twice, so to get away from you and not have drama. No drama, no problems, cut you off. Be rid of you, that's it. I'm not dealing with this bullshit anymore. I moved twice, sir. You're coming where I am. I don't go where you are. Nobody's GPS in your phone. Now, the guys helping me might. I don't know, but I'm not. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about y'all. If it weren't for having to fix all the messes you make, I wouldn't pay any attention to you at all. Dr. Russell says that's why you do it. Can't get attention any other way. Got to make a problem. You're not hot and sexy. You're not Prince Charming. You know, you don't have women just throwing themselves at you. It's not like you're just this great guy everybody wants to be with. Everybody hates your guts. You're not getting a date. You're getting told on. And you can't. This speaks to how stupid you are. You don't just look at it and go, well, what I'm doing isn't getting me the outcome that I'd hoped for. She doesn't like me. Well, here's the thing. When you do every creepy, weird-ass bullshit, watching women in their house, that's fucked up. It's a crime for a reason. It's a turnoff to women. And our shrink's like, he does everything she hates and nothing she likes. And then he's like, why doesn't she like me? I don't know. What could it be? What could it be? Here we go with the low IQ again. So, I think I got the disclaimer done, right? But use the reasonable, prudent individual standard. Apply the but-for standard. Assert all constitutional rights. There, it's done. Okay, so that means the 14th Amendment. That means equal protection. No gender bias. No gender discrimination. And fuck you for that, by the way. Fuck you for that, by the way. I don't know. I don't get people. I grew up in a different environment where we didn't have racism. There was a little bit of gender discrimination because I grew up in New Mexico. So New Mexico is largely Hispanic. Well, Hispanic culture is the guy goes out and works and the woman stays home and has 200 babies. A lot of them are Catholic. They don't do birth control. They don't do, they don't do birth control. So, they got 20 kids and mom's in the kitchen. That's where mom should be. So there's a little bit of gender discrimination in New Mexico. I didn't let it bother me. I didn't let it bother me. Then I moved to Nevada, and there's none of that there. Nevada actually has one of the most female-dominated legislatures in the country. That's where I used to live. So I don't get you people with your gender discrimination. I really don't. It's not something that's been any kind of part of my life. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter your gender. A person is a person. I don't like men who act like girls. I don't like men who pick on women and children because they're too weak to pick on men. So, I think for the record, everybody knows that, right? You don't have filters that make you say, you can't actually do that. So, you got rejected. Boo fucking who. Move on. Move the fuck on. What if your son acted like you? You're embarrassing everybody, sir. And we're just like, why aren't you embarrassed enough to stop? Stalking is a crime. Stalking happens when one person rejects the other, and the other can't just fucking act like a grown-up and move on. I've been rejected. I moved on. Why can't you? There were people I wanted to go out with, and they didn't like me back. Boo fucking who? Move on. Lots of fish in the sea. Lots and lots of fish in the sea. What ended up happening most times when that happened is later, I was glad that thing didn't work out. That person did something or said something or made a decision that I'm glad it didn't work out. I looked back on it and I was like, wow, thank God that didn't work out. That would have made me miserable. You've made everybody miserable, guys. You're very hated people right now. You're very hated. We do not have a hard time getting information. When I'm broke, David, when I'm broke, Charles, when I'm broke, Calvin, my guys start digging into what happened. Why is she broke? It's not her. We know that. They did something. Let's find out what, who, what, when, why, where. Is she broke? So they went digging into strip clubs where I worked. They went digging into what you're doing. They went digging into everything and found out you were renting out the strip clubs and running everybody off. So now I hear, because y'all have been trying to push me, we got to get her back out on that pole and on the schedule for like over a year now. And then I guess Patrick threw a fit. We don't want her back out here. We don't want to deal with you anymore. Yep, and so I heard that happen. He told you. We don't want her back out here. We don't want to deal with y'all out here anymore. You guys rented the club out, and that made them feel, oh, yay, they're renting the club out. Except you ran all the paying customers off. So now, guys don't want to drive back out there, only to find they can't go in because you rented the whole club out, right? So now he's got to try to get all those people back in there. That's hard to do. So you owe him money. As far as I'm concerned, I have not asked, since March 2020, when you offered me a buy a lie money, what did I tell you? I don't want your buy a lie money. You owe me money legit. You owe me at least $8 4 times from placing my taillight. A bunch of oil from draining my oil out. Deductible from insurance every time you had somebody hit my car. I mean, you owe me a shit ton of money. $1,000 a day for watching me in my house. You're getting entertained. Against my will, by the way. So $2,000 plus $2,000 a day for doing it against my will. You owe legit debt. I don't want your buy a lie money. What I want you to do is pay your legitimate debt. All the money of court that you robbed me. I didn't, you guys had all these little secret ex parte hearings and got everything dismissed. And everybody's like, whoa, that ain't normal. That's not normal. There's supposed to be a hearing with both people. She's got to prove her case. She's not even there. She must have something important to say, or she'd been there. How come 5 attorneys can't handle one girl never even been to law school? That speaks very highly of her. She's got a strong case and she's smart, or they'd let her in there. Right? See, y'all don't know how people think. Not like you think. But look at the situation you're in. Who told? How'd she find out? I don't know what we're going to do. She found out. We gotta get her back to Texas where we can fuck with her. And we got to take over her Facebook account. And make sure she can't talk. And make sure they can't talk. And make sure nobody can talk. Everybody, see, these people catching us. Right? That's obstruction of justice. I just want you to know. Write it down. Put it on your whiteboard. You need to quit hacking. How about just stop? You give us more by the day. So what I said is get my club full of paying customers again, didn't I? Make it right with Paul. Paul is a decent dude. He's a decent dude. Whenever you guys use people around me to hurt me, please understand that there's 2 or 3 things I keep in mind. One is Dead Lucky and Almost Dead Framed Mike. Almost Dead framed Cynthia. So I get that you use us as an example of if you don't do what we say, we'll do to you what we did to them, don't you? It's always about the threats and always about the bribes. So what I said is get the club full of people. I'm not working there anymore. Doesn't matter to me now, except that they deserve it. You took from them, give it back. You took something that didn't belong to you, Perry. Give it the fuck back. No one invited you here. And there's no way I would have brought you around my friends and family. I didn't introduce you to my friends and family, didn't invite you here, would never take you around them. You took it upon yourself to butt in. And you look like a fool. You made up a bunch of bullshit. You told people stuff that wasn't true. You knew it wasn't true. There's not a romance here, and you knew that. and you lied and you got forged documents and got information illegally with your forgery. So now you're going to take my car and you what's that going to do? I'll have another I told you so. I kept saying. I did say. Right? It's different this time because you do this to women all the time. You do it to women all the fucking time. You do it to everybody, don't you, David? You're used to going around and you get in people's face. I'll do to you what I did to Lucky and Mike and her. We'll get you fired. We'll take your car. We'll have you false arrested. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll buy a lie. Right? You do that to my family. We'll get the EPA on y'all. Do you know, I've heard that you would be hard pressed to find a body shop anywhere that has 0 EPA violations. They pretty much all got one. We've heard. Go in there and find something. Go in there and make one. Did you do that? Did you get the EPA to fuck with my family? I heard you did, or threatened it, or you were trying to. So, who do you think you're fooling? I mean, it's different this time when you do it to me, isn't it? When you do it to me, you get caught. Here's how it works, David, Calvin, Charles, Josh. Josh, you're in a little bit of this yourself, aren't you? I heard you're in a little bit of it yourself. You're supposed to be a cop, not a criminal. Are you corrupt? I mean, there's different kind of cops. There's Batman cop, like the guys helping me. They're badass. You're a criminal. They're gonna kick your butt, and they're gonna kick it hard. You're hurting somebody, and we're gonna stop it, right? That's how they are. That's how they think. Then there's this kind of your mediocre cop, and then there's your Barney Fifes that they're just stupid. You're like, how'd you pass the fucking test to become a cop? Because there are tests you have to take to become a cop. They don't just grab anybody off, any schmuck off the street and go, here, be a cop. I mean, you have to take a test. You got to pass it. That means you got to be able to think logically. If then that. If you do X, then Y happens. And if you don't like Y, maybe stop doing X, right? Or if this man threatens her car all the time, and then her car is wrecked, some guy wrecks her car, there's a chance it's him. Or like Marcus said, it's not hard to solve murders. If guy A threatens guy B and guy B ends up dead, we're going to go look at guy A first. He's top of the list. Right? I mean, these are tests that cops have to take to make sure they can think past tying their shoe. They got to make split-second decisions that could end their life or save their life, right? Can't be stupid. But there are some, you're wondering how'd you pass the fucking test? And then there's corrupt. And some would argue corrupt is stupid, right? So low IQ and no impulse control. You can't control yourself, can you, Perry? We don't like you. Listen to the words I'm saying. I don't like you. You do everything I don't like and then sit around wondering and whining. Why didn't she like me? Women don't like peeping toms. Women don't like being hacked. Women don't like little butt-ins, nosy potties. Why don't you go out with Connie Curry? You guys are the same. Why don't you go out with her? Both of you like nosy bodying around, butting into other people's shit. Right? Just go be with somebody who's like you. You need to find somebody who's like you. You and I are nothing. We are as alike as, far apart as west and east. There's no fucking way you're going to get a date with me, ever. I like to stop people suffering like normal people do. And you like to cause it. You sit around and do nothing all day but cause suffering. And the thing is that starts to build up and people start hating your guts. And they do and they are. And then when you're in jail, once my guys put you guys in jail, it's all over. It's done. Nightmare's over. I don't have to worry about somebody taking my car away all the time. So what'll happen is they hack my Dasher app, and I'll get an order from some guy that lives in an apartment back in the, I'm in the back of the thing, and you got to go in the back of the building, and you got to go up 3 flights of stairs, and then, okay, so that's going to take me a little bit to get to drop off the food, right? I drive around, and I find he's like right in the middle of the thing, and there's 5 buildings around between me and the parking lot and him. And then I got to go around all the way around the back, climb up the stairs. Meantime, Perry's guy pulls up right behind me. They got a key. They have a key to every car I've had. Pop it open, take the taillight out, put their burnt out one in there, and leave. And I come down the stairs. I come down the traipsing down the stairs. And then Get in my car and, oh shit, it doesn't work now. Right? How many times you've done that? Or I'm sleeping. Make sure we wait till she's sleeping. Well, Peeping Toms would know exactly when I'm sleeping. Right? Wouldn't a Peeping Tom know when I'm sleeping? Yep. That's what you guys said. Go tow her car, but wait till she's sleeping. We're Peeping Toms. Peeping Tom is a crime, bitch. We're a bunch of peeper creepers. We can't just go be normal. Leave everybody the fuck alone. Invasion of privacy. It's like rape. It's a sex crime. Sir, you're a sex offender. Right? You a sex offender, Charles? Is that how you want to be known? You like peeping? That's what you are. You're a sex offender. And that's how you would know when I'm sleeping and when I'm not. So when you fucked with my taillight, the first time when I was out in Manford and my guys call me and wake me up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I usually wake up at 3. They just took out your taillight. You need to go fix it. They want you pulled over. So I run down there to Napa in Manford and get the new light. It's like the 4th time you've done that. You're not sneaky. You're not sneaky at all. So I mean, we even get like bored with your stupid. You know, they're not even doing the crime right. Because if they wanted to, you know, this thing with Lucky. Actually, a reporter pointed this out, guys. Lucky just did a meth bust. She told him, get one of those guys. You're like framing people. Frame one of them that has it coming anyway. Right? But you're too stupid. So, you know, if you get Mike home, if they had done what she said, you get Mike home, she's doing good. There's no evidence of witness tampering, no evidence of coercion. Everyone can agree Mike doesn't look like he was in a fight, much less he killed the guy. So get him home. We back the blue. We'll get him home. Had they done that, they would say there'd be no link to that vandalism. There'd be no link to Lucky's murder. There'd be no link to her. There'd be nothing. It's the meth guy did it. But they're stupid. They didn't do that. Instead, now you have 4 court proceedings she's not allowed into, and she should have been. Perry is big on concealment of material facts that could change the outcome. I'm an outcome changer. Look at it. These guys got away with this shit all their lives until they did it to me. All of a sudden, it's different. I'm the one woman that made everything different for all of you. I'm the outcome changer. You have put me through shit and hell, and I've lost my ass being that. But I promise you, at the end of the day, I'm going to be very proud to be the one to be that. I'm the outcome changer. That was me. These bitches terrorized women and children and other people and terrorized them and terrorized them and terrorized them and got away with it until they did it to me. I'm the one woman. Everything changed. Life as you knew it ended, and you got a new normal, and you're not getting away with it this time. But believe me, there's no fucking way I could do it without help. There's no fucking way I could do any of this if there weren't somebody investigating you, and every time you hurt me, they start digging. Right? So what day is it going to be, Perry, that they bang down your door and we're done? Nightmare's over. No more peeping, no more hacking, no more trying to get my car, no more taking my money, no more trying to force me against my will back to Texas, no more using my friends and family to try to gaslight me and coax me. Now you got Patrick all pissed off. I don't want her back out here because that means you're coming back out here. I didn't do anything. I went in there and made them money. You came out there and you made everything messed up for me. I didn't bother anybody. Least of all Patrick. If you've seen Patrick used to be a Canadian football player, professional. You don't want to piss him off. You don't want, if of all people to piss off, don't piss off Patrick. He's huge. He's a big guy. I think he could knock you over, Perry, just looking at you. So I guess you guys got him all riled up, I heard. Is that true? Is that true? I don't want her back out here. You guys keep trying to push her back out here. She don't want to come. She's done dancing. And we don't really want her back out here because we don't want you out here. Give them their money back, Charles. See, when you start taking things that are important to people, money, cars, homes, family members, do you think they're going to want to be your BFF? Oh, fuck no. They want you gone. Because when you're gone, so is the loss. So is the hardship. So is the drama. So is the trauma. So our reporter friend says, if they had just done what she said, and there'd be no link to that murder at all. And they may have killed Lucky, but we wouldn't believe that. We'd think she's crazy. But here's what happened. Instead, they've ruined her life like you would do if you're witness tampering. She said they're trying to take my home. They did. She says they're trying to take my car. It looks like they're trying to take her car. Why would you do that unless you have something to cover up? You're trying to intimidate somebody into a lie. Everyone can see Mike doesn't have a mark on him. And why now, for the fourth time, is she not in court? Why do they keep trying to shut that girl up? They wouldn't unless she knows something. And the truth isn't convenient. Right? So they did everything a guilty guy they did everything a guilty guy does. Tampering with evidence, Mr. Perry, is evidence in of itself. There's a lot of this stuff that I say that no one should have to tell you. You should just know it. Most people do. Most people can think past tying their shoe, and they I think you can't even do that. So there's this. Hang on. Look how long it's taking everything to load. Everything, Perry jams everything up. It takes forever. Sometimes it won't load at all. They did that to my Dasher app yesterday. So I didn't make shit. I didn't make any money. Jammed it up, and jammed it up, and jammed it up. They'll do that right before. If I'm supposed to mail something out for court and I need money to pay for the postage, they do that. All of a sudden, my Dasher app doesn't work anymore. Or I'd go dance and nobody'd be there. I wouldn't have any customers. So what I did is, when you did that, is I went and studied the law. Now you got 5 attorneys, seasoned. Went to law school, took the bar, passed it, practiced law for fucking ever. Won't face one girl in court with no law school at all. Wow. So here we go again, that the taillight is out in my car for this just happens over. They just go at my car, and they go at my car. Look at that. On the passenger side there. Did you want TPD to pull me over? And one drove by me. I don't know. Here's the thing. In Tulsa police drive through Tulsa. So when I see a cop in Tulsa, I don't always assume that's your guy coming at me. Here, oh, yep, sure, there he is. They took my taillight out, and here's one coming. I don't assume that. I don't know if that's the one you called or not. Just Tulsa has Tulsa police driving around in it. So just because one drives by me, maybe he's your guy. Maybe he's just driving by me. So, and this was in Manford when they called me. They took your taillights, and they want you pulled over. Go change it. So I went to Napa over there and changed it. And you did it again tonight. See, that's pulled back. I pulled over the first time you did it. I pulled over. I was on my way to work at Sensations, and there was a Rogers County deputy sitting out there, and I pulled over and talked to him, and I said, I opened my trunk, and I go, does this look like somebody tampered with my light, trying to take out the bulb? And he goes, well, the bulb is up here in the hood. And I said, right, but I get that. But look, maybe he tried that first and realized the bulb's not there. It's up in the hood. And he goes, yeah, that's possible. I said, it looks like somebody ripped that back to me. Wasn't like that when I got it. That was my Honda. The one that you threw the brook at and busted the engine into. Right? There's the taillights. You want me pulled over. Golly, with the pullovers. I don't know. And the car wrecks and shit. Oh, it's just like, it just goes on. You guys just never stop. See that? She doesn't call the cops on a car accident just when the tire goes out. The tire goes flat. So let's go flatten her tire. And then maybe she'll flag over a cop. I was like, what the fuck? See that? That was the Duvall's. We hear David does a lot of this part. That one was a hit and run. That one was the, let's call the cops. Hey, let's call the cops. And you hit me. I can't see, sir, how, let's see. I'm thinking, sir, your damage is on the bumper, and mine is on the side of my car. And I'm thinking, from what you're telling me, let's see. I'm not seeing it. It looks like you can't rear end somebody's bumper with the side of your car. I'm just saying. I'm thinking this through here. I'm like reworking this crime scene. Accident scene. Crime scene in my head, and I'm just like, not. I don't know. I don't know. So why don't you do this? Why don't you take a picture of the damage on your car and text it to me, okay? And I'm like, I'll never hear from him again. Sure as shit. Cindy got it right again. Never heard from him again. What do you know? Nobody will suspect a thing, y'all. Look at that. We're going to take her car. Where is it? Where is that email? I got an email about it, right? Everything's emailed. It's like, this is my favorite show right here. This guy, has anybody seen this show? This is my favorite fucking show. So the way that this show started, Burn Notice, is one of the guys who, I think he was one of the writers of the show, was like at a bar and talking to this dude. They become friends, I guess. And the dude's like, yeah, I used to work with the CIA. So he starts explaining to him, if ever you get in a fight with somebody, try to get him in the bathroom. Because, if somebody ever attacks you, try to get him in the bathroom. Because you can, like, bang their head up against the porcelain in there and shit. And it's a lot easier to beat them up. And, like, when you get, you got drug dealers and crap shooting at you, what you do is you get, like, a cord, like a wire, and you get some C4, and you can make it, like, in a circle, and you can control your blast and not wake up the neighbors. Shit like this that most people will never fucking ever need to know. You can also, you're getting shot at by drug dealers. What you can do is grab a microwave, and you throw some knives and forks and shit in there, and some aerosol cans, and hit popcorn and run. And then it's gonna blow up and get your drug dealers that are shooting at you. And you're like, he said, I was like, oh my god, like most people won't ever need to know how to do that, because you're not gonna have drug dealers and crap shooting at you. So that's what makes the show kind of funny. Is through the whole show, Michael Weston is giving out like all these little clues, like these little hints of here's what you do if you got Russian something after you, Russian spies after you, just do the crazy shit, and you're just like, yeah, I'll need to know that. Anyways, I think everybody should watch it. It's funny as hell. And yeah, there's the first false arrest. You threatened. See this? Okay, so I'm talking to my ex-husband today. And I'm talking to my ex-husband today, and I'm like, he is like, why don't you come to Texas? And Charles told him to pressure me to move to Texas. Here we go with the coercion again. And I told you to stay away from my family. So here we go. Because he doesn't care. My ex-husband and I are friends, but okay, keep in mind, I'm his kid's mom. Do you think he would want something bad to happen to me? His kid's mom? Probably not. So what'd you bribe him with, and what'd you threaten him with? Yeah. Okay, so in October 29, I email him this email that says, Charles is trying to find a way to false arrest me, commit perjury, commit fraud upon a court, false arrest me, right? That's the thing, because I've moved twice now to get away from this bitch. He's supposed to be a Christian Jesus thumping Bible whatever church guy, right? Happily married church guy, except he's got a secret sex weirdo problem, right? Which I caught, which I knew about because I'm brought in to get him elected so cops can get to him easier. Think about how brilliant that plan is, right? His life is subject to public scrutiny. Let's make him a public figure. And let's let the public scrutinize him while we work all this out, because he's not the only guy involved in this. Let's use that. How about let's use that and catch a bad guy, right? It's a brilliant plan, I thought. Plus, we can send undercovers to go pretend they're voters or campaign donors. Let's fuck, this bitch is awful. He's a very bad man doing very bad things. Let's fuck up the crime in a whole new way. Let's do this. Let's get Sin involved in it. That's what they told me they said. So Sin gets involved in it. And so here you go. And I think at the time we didn't really plan on Sin having to go be a stripper, so that was a whole thing. Anyways, and I think that I have a text from Brittany, who used to be my waitress out at Sensations. They're all worried that you're an informant, and I'm like, man, I'm not. Listen, I'm in here trying to catch a serial killer, and y'all's other little shit you do. I don't give a fuck about that. We're trying to get bigger fish thrown up on the dock there. We're not really worried about, whatever other shit goes on in here. So, I mean, Patrick needs to know that. I don't have any plans to go dance, Charles. You guys have been trying to coax me, right? So I'm talking to my ex-husband today, and he's like, why don't you just come back to Texas? And I'm like, no, I don't want to come back to Texas. I really don't. And by the way, they're going to kill me if I do. Surely you know that. Remember how I told you they were going to false arrest me, and I called you and I was freaking out and hysterical, and Dennis was watching me be hysterical, and he's now upset too. And he goes, because Mr. Perry's threatening death and false arrest fucking all fucking day, every day in October, 15 months before he did it. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm telling you right now, I'm your kid's mom. You don't want me in Texas. I won't live through it. I won't live. They'll kill me. They think they can get me there and kill me and get away with it. I'm telling you right now. Nicole Simpson told everybody, OJ's going to kill me. OJ's going to kill me. OJ's going to kill me. And he did. I mean, what do we have to do? What do women have to do to get somebody to understand that when some guy, some freaky Jason slasher, whatever, is stalkers are dangerous. That video, connecting the dots. Those cops say, make sure your victims know the stalker is dangerous. Make sure your victims know the stalker is dangerous. Make sure your victims, police, know that stalkers are dangerous. Because they are. History has shown it. They're fucking dangerous. They're a whack job. They don't have the filter that says you can't actually do that. They do it anyway. These ones are worse. I don't have one. I got like 20 of them. I got a whole crew of stalkers. So, because they got a whole, sex exploitation business and trafficking bullshit. So, here's the thing. I'm telling my ex-husband, remember the email I sent you? And I'm telling you they're going to false arrest me. Yeah. I'm telling you now, I can't go to Texas. They'll kill me. I'll be dead in a week. And he starts yelling at me. And I'm like, wow, okay. That's not normal. That's not the normal response for what I just said. So, Mr. Perry, we're duly noting it for the record that you influenced that reaction, because that's not a normal reaction for what I said to him, to my son's dad. That's not normal. So, you've clearly talked to him. And you've clearly... And he's also part of the, why don't you go dance? Why don't you go dance? Why don't you go to, what? Until you talk to Patrick, and Patrick's like, no. We don't need all that shit back out here again. And they don't. And I don't want it there. I don't want that shit out there again. You know what I want you to do? Pay Paul the money that you owe him from all the people, the business that you interfered with. Same thing. Interference with commerce and contracts. It's illegal. Doesn't matter who you do it to. You did it to Paul. You did it to me. Pay us back. Because we would have made money, sir. And you took it. Or you ran it off. Or you cost us money. I had money that I could have spent doing anything but suing you, making copies. I shouldn't have to sue some bitch to make him leave me alone. Right? Get over it like a man and move on, please. Neil. Connie Curry's perfect for you. You guys are both nosy bodies. Both of you. You're the same. That's not my thing. I mind my own business. I do my own thing. I'm busy. You should try it. Being busy, doing normal shit normal people do. You should try it. Keeps you out of trouble. You guys just go, I'll break one law after the other. Do you go 5 minutes without breaking the laws? David, Josh, Joe, Charles, Matt, all of you? I really don't think Matt's as bad as the rest of you. I really don't. I think he's done some shitty things. But I don't think he's as bad as the rest. He's bad. He's done shitty. It's called accessory after the fact. But we know he was the only one that didn't know about the thing with Lucky and Mike beforehand. So that says something. Not as bad as the rest of y'all. He's not. He can be. He's not an angel, but he's not as bad as y'all. So because his name's not popping up as much as y'all's are when you talk about getting my car and well, Matt wanted to get my car for a while there. Now it's David, right? Is that true? Am I getting that right? They don't tell me who I'm listening to. Anyways, I wish they did, because sometimes that aggravates me, but there's a reason they do it that way. So I'm telling them about this. They did do it, Ernest, and so I got to be careful. And same thing with my house. They did talk about it first, and then they did try, and then it was COVID moratorium, so then they had to wait till that was over, and then they did try again. Here's the thing. We got to get her back into Texas. This was in March. This was sent in March. So as of May, my landlord and I had a mutual agreement. Here's when I'll move out. But there was court proceedings. Anybody can pull it up and look. Thank you for that. So that cost me money. Yeah. That's what you do, though. Remember, we have a witness. You keep substantiating that guy. Where's the fucking... Okay, so there's the car problems. And there's the false arrest. Look at that. That's in January. No political vendetta. You're not worth a political vendetta. You're just some small town podunk nothing. You're irrelevant. How many of you... I mean, how many of you... Anybody could put a notice on Facebook. If you care, if there's anywhere in this country, a podunk nobody elected official in a state where you don't live that you're concerned about, please do let us know who that would be. Who is the podunk nobody elected official from any state where you don't live that you concerns you? Anybody? Right? Nobody cares. No one cares. Perry, you don't matter. I know you think you do, but you're delusional. You think a lot of things. You don't matter. I was in politics all my fucking life. I walked out of the office of Harry Reid. Right? I walk out of his office and I meet you, and all of a sudden you think you matter? That I'm supposed to be impressed with you? You're shitting us with that, right? Jesus. The delusion does not end with you. This is, here it is right there. I file a report on the 21st. Tulsa Police gives it to the offender. Not supposed to, but they do. And there goes the obstruction and impediment of their investigation. There's no blood test taken. There's no nothing. And what I also want to know is, you do often hire hitmen that make admissions in text, death threats and admissions in text. Do you often do that? Mickey James, same thing. It might be worth it for him to kill you, and it look like Gary Condit and Chandra Levy and have that kind of speculation. I signed a DOR. I'm sorry, what do you call it? A non-disclosure. It's a non-disclosure agreement, but he called it something else. I can't remember now. In the text, he said there's not going to be any charges against him in Oklahoma. And I'm like, well, I guess what? There's other people on him, so there will be charges. Right? Remember I said that in the text? So he says this in the text, right? So do you often hire hitmen that just admit things in text? Or am I really that good at this? I'd like to know. I want to know, is it I'm good? I'm so good. I get these guys that say shit in text they didn't mean to say. Or do you just hire dumb fuck? I mean, what do you... Next time you interview a hitman, you got to find one that's smart enough not to text a death threat and shit. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways... criminals are stupid. So you obstruct the justice here because they don't call me asking for evidence until the 15th, right? So I'm telling my ex-husband, they're trying to coax me back to Texas. You do know that, right? That's why I got kicked out of my house, right? You do know that? Just like I said, they were trying to false arrest me, and I'm crying, and I'm calling you, and I'm freaking out, right? Remember that? Dennis he's upset. Remember that? Yeah? Okay, well, I can't go to Texas. And if y'all wanted me to Texas, you'd get Fabian up here, right? I might trust him, but he won't do it, will he? And those girls told me, yeah, I've never seen a bunch of old fart wealthy guys shit themselves like they do when Fabian's name comes up. They are scared to death of him. Is this why, Perry? There's the car thing, and look at the dates on these. That's August 2019. You've been trying to get my car that long. Not how you get a date. You don't have a date, do you? You don't have a cover-up either. Now it's just stacking up. Every time you try to do something to my car, more vandalism after more vandalism after more vandalism after more vandalism. Nobody will suspect a thing, right? Is that what you guys think? What planet do you fucking live on? And then there was another attempt. That was David. This one was when David started going, maybe I need to get a new lawyer. I think my lawyer's leak. Right, David? You thought it was Jim McGew? Maybe. I'm not told who the leaks are. I don't think so, but maybe. I mean, I have no way to know one way or the other, nor do I care. Point out for me the marks on this guy that looks like he was in a fight. My son was in a fight. He was hit 3 times. Look at the bruises on him. And yet we got Mike Neely here with nothing. Y'all didn't do that, right? Except it looks like you did. And had you done what I said, it might not, even if you did do it. You guys don't even know how to do the crime right. We're like getting all bored. We're like, these guys are so fucking, it's so easy. It's not even fair. We're even having to tell them how to do the fucking crime right. They're fucking that up too. I don't even know what to say to that. When you're gonna kill a cop, you know, and you don't want it to be linked to you or the vandalism. That the murder was to obstruct the vandalism, because I didn't put what I said in my police report is I don't know who the hell did it. Likely my stalker. Look at the connecting the dots video. What does it tell you to do? What does it tell police to do? If you got a vandalism report, you need to consider stalking might be part of that. That's kind of what stalkers do. They're creepy. They're weirdo. They do shit like that. Weirdo shit like that. You know what Mike Neely said? This is weirdo. Everybody says that, Charles. How embarrassing for you. It's just they don't say it to your face. I'm saying it to your face. You're weirdo. You're a fucking fucktard weirdo. We're all tired of dealing with you. So when we get information, please understand. That comes because we're tired of dealing with you. We don't want to deal with you anymore. You cause me loss of... You contact me at all. You're a creepy motherfucker. When you contact me, I hate it. Listen, I don't like it. I don't like hearing from you. No one cares what you think. You're not asked. We're sick of hearing it. Everybody's sick of hearing it. Everybody's tired of you. All of you. Because all you do is cause really bad loss. And threaten and really bad anxiety and panic attacks and crap like that. And we're all kind of tired of dealing with that, David. So it's not hard for us to get information. So don't sit on your fat asses and go, how did she know? How did she find out about that? We found out about that because you pissed us off. I told Charles, don't peep, don't hack, don't contact me, get out of my life, didn't I? And he's not doing it. And so you piss everybody off. And then when you try to do another thing to me, we find out about it beforehand. And then you got another McNamara email, which is what I just showed you, that email to Mike's husband. Mike has no injuries. Who is it you think you're fooling? Now you're witness tampering. Who is it you think you're fooling? For court proceedings, I'm not there to show my evidence and testify. And you got to have your testimony with the evidence sometimes, because it can change the perception of it. Like I said with the mugging victim. There's a lady mugged, and a guy takes a picture, calls the cops. Look, I got a picture of him doing it. Look at him grabbing her arm and her purse. They throw the guy in jail, and they're going preliminary hearings, and they put the lady on the stand. And oddly, it's the defense attorney. And the lady's like, this is not a crime. That was my son. I was falling. He grabbed my arm to steady me and my purse to keep the purse from me. My purse is heavy. It's kind of pulling me down. That's not a mugging. That's not a crime. And how stupid, prosecutor, that you didn't check into that first. It's called due diligence, due process. Right, Matt? That you fuck up. You fucked up. You suck at it. You and Josh. Can you define Mr. Perry's legislative duties? Do you know how to tell the difference between a legislative duty and a criminal act? In another state where I am, because I left. I don't want to fight with y'all. I left. That should have been the end of it. But we got Princess Prissy Pants Twinkle Toes. Boo-hoo, she rejected me. Throwing his little fit like a 2-year-old little brat. He's got to punish. He's got to bother everybody. He's going to sit around and make problems and make drama. And everything's a thing. And everything's an ordeal. And it's you, poor you. You're call your mother. No one else cares. Call your mama. And stop bothering us with your, whatever sex weirdo problems you got. Bother somebody else with that. So here's back to the thing with Justice Scalia. Look at the dates on these, you little bitches. April, and then you did it a few months later in civil court. You went in and lied. You perpetrated a fraud upon a court. Judge Kirkendall, I guess, was smart enough to say, I need you to leave her alone. She does have these emails going way the fuck back. You expressed intent to somebody, and she got wind of it. We're going to perpetrate a fraud upon a court. We're going to wreck her car, bunch, try to get her car and get her kicked out of her house, and jam up her apps, and try to fuck with her school, or whatever it is she tries to do. Try to make it where she's dancing. Rent out the club, run off the money, and send our 5 guys in with our little canned food. And take her steak and give her our can of peas. So, this was dated. She said, so I need to rule out entrapment and provocation because it looks like you're provoking. Yep, she's smart. I respect that about her. I think that was smart. So, I just like smart people. Here's the thing. I'm really attracted to very smart people. I like people that get it, boom, like that. I don't have to go, okay, I'm going to try to explain to you like you're 6-year-old. And then, I like people that just get it. That impresses me. I like it. I like cops that get it. I like smart cops. I really like smart cops. So, I don't like to have to explain shit. I just don't. I worked in medical. Okay, so when you're in medical, you're dealing with surgeons And they went to school for fucking ever, and you got to learn all kinds of stuff. I mean, you got to be really smart to be a surgeon. So I'm used to having these guys are very busy and they're always behind, right? So you got to have the ability to almost finish people's sentences, literally. So I'm working with that almost all my life, right? I started in medical working for Kay, my aunt, in 1993. I want to say I was like 22. All right, so I'm interacting with surgeons. We dealt with oncologists. We dealt with vascular surgeons. We dealt with physical therapists, nurses, general practice doctors, and so that's the kind of people I'm used to dealing with, Mr. Perry. And so they're busy. I'm busy. We're always in a hurry. Everybody's always in a hurry in your medical because they got the next surgery and they got the next patient. They got a waiting room full of people, and I got 10 minutes to do my spiel, or 30 seconds to explain a problem with the patient and get their response, what they think I should do. So you got to keep up with them. I got to keep up with them. Actually, at this point I don't have a college degree. I've got 1 year of college, and that's it. I didn't have I'm a 1 year college working with surgeons, and I have to explain things to them about what my equipment's going to help, how it's going to help their patient, right? And I got to be able to use medical terminology I've never heard before. So what I did the first week, Kay brought me in. First I was just her secretary, and I'm like, I want to be in sales. Like, I'm an outside person. I don't like sitting in the office. I want to be out mingling, and I want to be in sales. So she looks at me, hands me a stack of clinical studies, and she goes, read these and go sell. And that was it. I was like, fuck. Okay, so I took a week, and all I did is, I'd never heard of lymphedema. I never heard of vascular insufficiency. I sat down and I read all those studies, and then I'd be reading like a paragraph, and I had a medical dictionary that I borrowed from her, and I'm reading a paragraph, and there's like a word that I don't know what the hell it means, so I gotta look up the word in the medical dictionary, and in the definition of the word, there's like 20 more words. I don't know what the fuck that means either, so I gotta look those words up, and I had to, sink or swim, learn it, figure it out, and I did. So that's the kind of world I'm used to being in. People get it. Boom, just like that. I don't have to say it twice. In fact, that gets on everybody's nerves. Don't make me fucking say it twice. I don't have time. I'm used to Vegas. It's very fast-paced. Get it done yesterday. I explained that yesterday. You walk in, you tell the doctor, I got this stuff, this new thing. It's going to save you, your patients are going to heal 10 days faster. You won't get the calls on the weekend. Blah, blah, blah. What is it? Yeah, I want it. Okay, sure. What? Sign me up. What is it? What does it do? What's it for? Literally, that's how it was. You come to Tulsa, and they're like, I don't know. I got to think about it. I got to think about it. I don't know. I'm like, fuck that. I think there was 2 doctors I looked at, and I said, dude, you're grinding nails on a chalkboard here, and I don't even want to work with you. If that's, I can't stand this. I don't even know what this is. This is not how I work. So I don't think we're a good fit. I walked out. Just like that. That's not how I operate. So how do you think I feel about cops? Same thing. I like smart cops. I like really smart cops. That impresses me, right? My dad was like that. So if I have these beforehand, like going back to fucking December, right? Look how, that's even more, November, Mr. Perry's gonna harass me. And then when I talk about it, he's gonna say I'm harassing him. Yeah. And I've talked about that. Your plan. You planned it. It's malicious. It's lies. It's fraud upon a court. It's perjury. And we've said you did it twice. And at the same time, Justice Scalia dies under suspicious circumstances. And the thing about Justice Scalia is he's a First Amendment guy, right? And he's in West Texas, right when you guys are planning all this. And he dies. And then you get Richie going, wait, something's fishy. Richie's smart. I like William O. Ritchie. He's a smart cop. He's bold, too. I like guys like that. That impresses me. That gets my attention. That is the kind of people I like to hang out with. Is a friend, business, or for dating. I got to have somebody smart to hang out with. is a friend or more, whatever it is, whoever's in my life, I need you to be smart. I need it. I like it. That's my thing. I don't like Mr. Slow Strange-O over here. He just butts in and bothers, and I think everybody's had enough of it, Charles. And if Patrick's throwing a fit and doesn't want me out of Sensations because it'll bring all you and your bullshit, I can't blame him. I want you to pay him back, and I've said that for a long time. Pay these people back. You took their money, pay them fucking back. Be a man about it and own your mistakes. I tell my kids that. You make a mistake. Here's the thing. You make a mistake, then admit it. Just say, I made a mistake. Don't beat yourself up about it, but admit it, learn from it, and move on to the next thing. But be a man enough to say, I fucked that up. And if you lie to me, here's the thing. I'll ground you 3 days for what you did wrong. No video games. But if you lie to me about it, 3 more days. If you're honest with me about it, I'm not going to add the extra grounding. But if you lie, I'm going to add grounding to you because you fucking lied. Just tell me fucking what you did. And then we'll deal with the problem. We'll work it out. Sometimes it was a thing at school. I had to work it out. If it's just they didn't clean their room, you don't have to work that out. They clean their room. But anyways, so I taught my boys, own your mistakes. Be men. Act like men. Act fucking like a man. And then we all make them. Everybody makes a mistake. Own it. Go, I fucked that up. And then if you need to fix it as best you can. And then put it in the past, move on. And learn from it. And don't make the same mistake twice. So that's how I taught my kids. And anyways, there's a reason I taught him that. So Richie is a homicide commander. And he's like, what's up with the postmortem something? Okay, so we've come down pretty strongly on they killed Lucky and framed Mike. And here's why we think that, right? And then with Justice Scalia, it's a little harder to do because there wasn't an autopsy. So with no autopsy, it's harder to say why we think the reason for suspicion is the dates that he died, the place that he died, these emails, his position on the Supreme Court, the questions around when things are on the up and up, they go like they're supposed to go. When things are not on the up and up and there's a cover-up involved, things don't go like they're supposed to go, which then caused Richie to question what the hell happened to the protocol not being followed in the post-mortem examination with Justice Scalia as a Supreme Court judge, for God's sake. And we don't even do a proper post-mortem investigation. What are they covering up in West Texas? It's a logical question, especially one for a cop. I'm wondering the same thing. And what gave more teeth to that suspicion was these right here. That y'all wanted to do that. And you did do it in civil court twice. And by the way, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. If she didn't have evidence, if Cynthia didn't have a claim, if she didn't have evidence, what's the harm of letting her in court to show evidence she doesn't have? She's not stupid where they'd let her in to say stupid things. No harm in that. She's smart. They don't want that heard, right? See, you people can tell by what you guys are trying to cover up and things that are supposed to be this way and they're not normal. It's all fucked up. Everything's all, wow, it's not supposed to go like that. There's not been one hearing, one court proceeding that goes like it's supposed to go. When I filed the motions to intervene for Mike, there should have been a hearing to determine whether or not I had standing to file that. And there was nothing. They're sitting there still on the docket like a meatball on the table. So everyone knows something's fishy. And why you guys don't get that, we cannot figure it out. Why don't you get that? And here's the thing, is maybe you got away with it all this time, but eventually people get sick of it. And I mean, at what point did logic not tell you eventually people are going to get tired of this and they're going to start doing things to expose it? They're going to start doing things to fight back. They're going to start doing things to put a stop to it because they don't like it. And once my guys that gave me a lot of this, they got this, Mr. Perry, to me, from you to me. It wasn't up to you. They didn't ask you what you think, David. Okay, so, see, he's drugged with Narcan, found unconscious and in respiratory distress. You can't kill somebody in that condition. So, not by beating them to death. And maybe if you had a gun, but no gun was there. No weapon was found. No murder weapon was found. Well, they find that both of them are knocked out cold. So, and Lucky's already deceased. That murder weapon didn't get up and walk out of the room by itself, if there was one. Right? Somebody, the perpetrator, the real killer, took it with him when he walked out the door if there was a weapon used. So, this right here, March, I said it beforehand. David, did anybody call you and Calvin, and say, is it okay if we get this information from the guys out, or some people out in Pensacola, and give it to Cynthia, and have her notify the DA over there, the Florida State's Attorney? Nope, it wasn't up to you, was it? No, it was not. It was not up to you. Somebody else is making those decisions for you because you won't behave and leave everybody alone, and that's all we asked you to do, isn't it? It's everything changed when you did it to me. You see that, Charles? You're the butt-in. You and Connie Curry. You two are the same. Nosy body butt-ins. This is power, David and Calvin. That got to me in jail. That's not just any name. That's Fabian's name. That's not just any word. That's the word hope. That's not just any... I mean, Boo was over here. You guys caused fear and sadness. Boo is a private joke between one of these cops and I. Who has that kind of power to get me that in jail? Did they call you and ask your permission? Nope, it wasn't up to you, was it? So when we get what you just said, it's not up to you. It's not even up to me. Is it? So what I'm asking you to do is keep this in mind. Whatever you do what you do. Today I did a quick DoorDash podcast. Let me just clarify this. When I'm showing that, I've already been sitting there forever waiting to get a fucking order in. 5 o'clock on a Friday night, you gotta have one after the other. Not just these upside down bullshit things you guys do. Just orders that I can make money on. There's no excuse for nothing coming through. So when nothing's coming through, they're hacking me. So I've already said, but if I pull out the film it thingy, this little orange thingy, if I pull that out and I start recording, I've already been sitting there to the point where I'm fucking irritated, or I wouldn't turn that on. Kind of like the DoorDash album that we started on. I opened it up, but it's been added to from somebody else and me. We share, more than one person posts stuff, just so you know. That way, none of us can remember who posted what, when, where, what. So that way you can't, it's a crime because she told on me, but she told on my crime. Here's the thing, guys. The crime is what you're doing to me: stalking, hacking, peeping, car vandalism, property damage, income loss, grand larceny with intent to coerce, interference with income and contracts with intent to coerce me. You intend to cause economic strain and duress, thinking that'll make me lie for you. About what? What do you want me to lie? Charles, have your attorney email me the lie you want told. You want to cause extreme duress. You have. You do. You are. If I have to sit there and watch my DoorDash app, it's just not working. I'm not getting any orders in at 5 o'clock on Friday night. That's bullshit. So I've already sat there for probably 10, 15 minutes. It shouldn't be 2 minutes. And I've had enough. So I hit that on. The reason that DoorDash album was started on the Facebook page that you now want to take over and hack, we hear, that was another thing we got y'all talking about today. Recorded. Who recorded that? Maybe they bugged up your office. Maybe they hot mic'd your phones, because you're cloning my phone. Maybe they got the clone of the clone, and they hot mic'd those. Right? See, what I told you to do is get the fuck out of my life. When you contact me, when you peep, when you hack, when you cause me financial loss, my guys dig. They want to know, why is she broke? That's our girl. She knows how to make money. So who's doing what to her to make her broke? Right? We're going to find out. The who, what, when. That's what cops do. They're stealing from her. We're getting it back. That's it. Not putting up with that. And the same guys that got that to me in jail, they don't call you. It's not up to you. Right? Okay, so here's the deal. That means by the time if I'm frustrated enough to, I'm starting to, not only did something go up on Facebook, but there's now a very private Dropbox file too that only has what happens with DoorDash. So every off order gets screenshotted and put in that DoorDash. Mallory and Philip get it. Get that, and there's one other person, I'm gonna say who that is, gets it too. So any things that's off. The reason we set that up is all of a sudden it wasn't off. It was fine. Everything was fine. But all of a sudden, I started having problems. So if I start having problems, once it's put out somewhere, that means I've already had a lot of problems before I started putting it out. So what'll happen is the problem happens once. Okay, well, maybe it's just a problem. Problem happens again. No, probably not. It's not coincidence now. Happens a third time. Now they're doing this on purpose. Kind of like the car accidents, 5 and 3 years, right at the wheel. Yep, now it's not coincidence. Now they're just doing this on purpose. If you remember 9/11, we're all sitting watching the news if you're old enough. If you're old enough to remember. So I'm watching the TV. My ex-husband called me and woke me up. I wasn't even up yet. And I'm like, I kind of sit up and I'm looking at the news and I'm like, son of a bitch, a plane hit the building. Wow. And he's calling me. He's like, the plane hit the building in New York City. Look at it. And he goes, do you think that's terrorism? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. We got a plane that hits a building. Oh, maybe. If it is, this is bad. This is really bad. So he's calling and wakes me up. You got to look at the news. The plane hit a building. So I'm that's what we're talking about. That's what we're thinking. And then all of a sudden, and so at this point, we think just a plane hit the building, right? Everybody did. Everybody's like, maybe it was an accident. Maybe some dude, had a heart attack on the plane and just flew. I mean, we don't know, right? We don't know what the hell happened. Well, now it's happened the second time. The second plane hits. Now we all know for sure this is an attack. This is not an accident. This is an attack. So what makes you guys think you're any different? That people don't figure that out, think along those same logical lines. It's not one time she's hit the wheel. It's 4, and then the brick. So these things are happening to her, right? This is not coincidence. This is not one plane hit the building. Okay, maybe that's a coincidence, some accident. But now 2 have hit. Nope, not now. Now we know that's not it. That's how normal people think, and nobody understands why you don't think like that. Right? Okay. So I get this in jail. So I'm going to close with this. If I've got something out about DoorDash, at this point, it's already happened a lot, and it's happened enough. Mr. Phillip and Mr. Mallory already know about it. I've already discussed, I've already sent them something on it, discussed it, and now it's not a coincidence anymore. Pretty much, we've ruled out coincidence and accidents at that point. If it's on Facebook, if it's on anywhere, out anywhere, by this time, it's already we've already gone past all that for us, for my guys. And then Philip and Mallory have it, in case you carry out that threat of, I'm going to go into court and lie and say when I'm harassing you and you're telling me that I'm being harassed. And we're all, oh God, here we go. Get your skirt on, twinkle toes. No, here's the thing. Go away. Go the fuck away. And then there won't be anything to talk about. And then your harassment nightmare will end, Mr. Perry. When you stop harassing me, and then there's nothing for me to tell, then your nightmare will end, sir. The poor awful things you've been through when you get told on, all that'll stop when you stop fucking with me. And there's nothing more to talk about. And you can end your tragic, pathetic excuse of a nightmare life that you've had to go through all this horrible thing of getting told on over and over and over. Every time you do something to me. Poor you. Poor you. Bless your little heart. We'll pray for you. Because you keep getting told on. So all that'll end. Your nightmare will end if you'll leave me the fuck alone. Okay? If you do X, fuck with me, Y happens. You get told on. You get ratted out. We find out. My guys dig. Why is she broke? The strip club's not the same. On the nights that she's not there and she is there, vastly different place. Right? So, do you like my guys digging into what you're doing, Mr. Perry, Mr. Robertson, Mr. Calvin? Do you like that? Because when you cause me a problem, that's what they're going to do. They've always done it. They're not going to stop until you're in jail. And then you can't do that to me anymore. I didn't pick a fight with you. No one's hitting your car. No one's trying to take your car away. No one's trying to, coax you here and coax you there. No one's taking your income. You're doing that to me. That's the crime. When you do it to me, when you do X, when you do crime to me, Y happens. You get told on, you get caught. My guys dig. So if you don't like Y, stop doing X, dumb fuck. Or don't complain. You asked for it. And these guys that got me that, they don't need your permission. We're going to starve her until she tells us who these guys are. Oh, wow, okay. That got some digging happening today. Did you like that? We're going to hack her Facebook, and we're going to hack her Facebook and her Twitter and all that. We're going to just take over all these guys that Facebook they use. We're going to take that over. Are ya? Okay. Wow. So don't ask how I know and how I found out. You asked for that. You wanted it. Because if you didn't want it, you'd stop. It's been this way for... McNamara email was 2015, 7 years ago. And it is in their discretion what day they arrest you, David, what day they arrest you, Calvin, what day they arrest you, Charles. That's their choice. That's their decision. They have that discretion, as does their prosecutor, and it's not up to you. But you're piling it on yourselves, and nobody understands why the fuck you do that. Like, talk about stupid criminals. Golly. Anyways, so if they got me this in jail, and I tell you that's who's going to dig every time I have a problem to find out who, what, why, when, did she have that problem? Because we've known this girl all our lives, pretty much, all her life, adult life. We know her thing. We know her inside, outside, backward, and forward. And we know that she didn't have these kind of problems until Mr. Perry came into her life. And kind of, we had some expectation he would do a little bit, but nothing like this. Right? All right. So you've made it weird. You took it off the rails, and you are living with the consequences of it. Kinda. You haven't felt the full brunt of that, but things are different with me, and you do it to me. And you don't not wonder why that might be? Who got me that in jail? Who has that kind of power? You don't wonder? I'm not trying to help you. I'm not asking you that question to try to help you. I'm asking you that question because you act like you don't know that you have picked a fight with people you're not going to win against. You're not winning that. It's not about me. We have never had one with this longevity. You got a whole lot more on you than me. Surely you're smart enough to figure that out by now. I can't get this by myself. I can't get that to myself in jail. I can't get myself the McNamara crap and the Michael's drug. I can't do that by myself. There's no way. Y'all are all over me all the time, fucking everything up. And it makes everybody mad. We're all sick of it. And when you're gone, we don't have to deal with it anymore. There's no more threats to my car. There's no more threats to my livelihood. There's no more threats to my apartment or where I live or my home. And it's over. Nightmare's over. And there won't be any more somebody telling on you. You'll be in jail. When you quit acting like fucks, there won't be anything else to tell, right? All right. It's my kids. My kids knew this at 5 years old, 3 years old. Why don't you? You guys with your daycare, I don't know what to say. Rumpelstiltskin, Muffin Man, whatever, Weeble Wobble, I'm the Jenga piece. You got a new normal. When you cost me money, when I'm quoting you, don't whine about it. You asked for that. You cost me money. You caused me loss. You invade my privacy. They're going to get up. They're going to dig. They're going to invade yours. And they have a court order and you don't. So, when I say leave me alone, leave me the fuck alone. When you do X, Y happens. You don't like Y, stop doing X, dumb fuck. We're all tired of y'all. Everybody's tired of y'all. Charles, no one's helping you. No, we just want you gone. We don't want to deal with this crap anymore. Why would we? Why the fuck would anybody want to have to get up every morning and wonder, are they going to take my car today? Are they going to try again? Am I going to deliver food and come back with no tail light? And then pull out of here and TPD pulls me over? They had that all planned up? Is that what, we're tired of living like that. And so you get ratted out and you get told on, or we get something, court order or something. But we find out every time. You have a new normal. It's different when you do it to me. And yeah, you keep doing it to me. And then you complain about how'd she find out? It's been that way every day for 7 years. Come on. I know you're slow, but surely you're not that slow. Even you, Charles, ought to be able to. So, keep that in mind. Look at that. Charles, you like looking? He types in my phone. I can see you. Oh my God. Here, you like looking? Look at that. Okay, weirdo? Otherwise, leave me the fuck alone. Shut up and go away.